Hi, I'm Danny Johnson. Welcome to the Danny Johnson Show. Today we're going to have a focus of your spiritual life. Well, mine too. I do not want you to get the picture like, okay, like my spiritual life is like perfect, and so that yours is not, and that's how come we meet here on this day. No. Oh my gosh, no. Listen, I'm one of those that if I do not like chew spiritual things and drink spiritual things, like, that's not literal. But do you understand what I mean? Like, if I am not like eating the best book ever written concerning spiritual things, which to me, personally, my opinion, you don't have to have the same opinion, is the Bible. Yes, I think it's the best success book ever written. I read it every single day. I've read it cover to cover 13 times. This thing like teaches me so much. And that's why I think it's really important for you and I to get together, because I believe that it can teach you so much. Not me teach you, but the Bible can teach you. And I'm not talking about it from a religious standpoint. I'm talking about it from a, yes, do the right thing standpoint. Let your heart do the right thing from that standpoint. So, have you ever had an enemy? Have you ever had somebody in your life who just right? Like you just want to, come on, let's be real. You either want to slap them, kick them, maybe even fantasized about strangling them. Come on, we've all had, if I could just give my hand, right? Come on. Hopefully you're not so like religious that you've been baptized in pickle juice that you're all, hopefully that's not you. If it is, I'm pretty sure you already exited this show. As soon as you saw the red blouse and the red lipstick, you were like, I'm out. I love red. I do. You're like, Danny, you're getting off topic. No, I ain't. No, I ain't. You know why? Because some of the enemies that I've had have been religious people. Yeah. You know, them church-going people. Not all churchgoers are like this, but I'm going to tell you, I have definitely encountered several. Many. Lots. Thousands. Judgmental people. Yeah. You see, why do I wear red? And red lipstick? Oh gosh, because every time I put red on, I am reminded of the blood of Yeshua, who washed me clean of all of my filth and all of my unrighteousness and all of my absolute disgustingness. And guess what? I know he's going to do it for me tomorrow and today, and the list goes on. He's wiped away the old judgments that I've had against people, the people that I've hated, the people I've avoided, right? So I choose this color because it's a reminder of the blood that was shed for me. It is also a reminder because there was that prostitute who's actually in Yeshua, Jesus' bloodline. Yeah, like his great-great-grandmother was a prostitute, Rahab, and she was told to put out a piece of scarlet fabric. She's supposed to put a scarlet fabric out of her window, and that whoever was in her house during the Battle of Jericho, that her and her family would be safe. She was a Canaanite prostitute. In fact, she was a temple prostitute. Ooh, what does that mean? That means that she got paid to have sex with men in the temple of Baal and Ashtoreth. So it was a temple that they believed in the fertility god and fertility goddess, and they would perform sexual acts. The priests would perform sexual acts with the temple prostitutes as an offering to Baal and Ashtoreth. By the way, Ashtoreth is still worshipped every Easter. Yeah, that's actually her holiday. Yep, and Christians are worshiping her, and they don't even know that. No, I ain't. My sunrise service is about Jesus. And then you go off to an Easter egg hunt and eat some chocolate bunnies. That's exactly how Ashtoreth was worshipped at sunrise. You actually think that's a new modern thing? Nope. Anyway, so we've all encountered mean people, religious people, judgmental religious people, and of course the non-religious, right? You might even have some enemies because you don't have the same political views, and especially like on social media, you know, everyone has all this courage to like say things they would never say in person to somebody. So anyway, if you've got an enemy, and the enemy could be your coworker, your boss. The enemy could be your president. Your enemy could be like of the United States. It could be anybody. Could be somebody that just like stabbed you in the back. You understand? Okay, and it might be an enemy from days past or years past, from a long, 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 like, you know, like I got an ex-husband. What? Danny Johnson was married before? Yep. I told you I was a disgusting mess. So this red means a lot to me. Oh boy, it means a lot to me. A lot. I've been forgiven much. But here's what this says. It's really powerful. So we're going to open up the best success book ever written, Luke chapter 6. We're going to verse 27. I'm reading the Aramaic to English translation. You could get this at Amazon.com. This is the hard copy. The New Testament, which really is not a New Testament, it's the actually Second Testament. It's the continuation of the writings that you call the Old Testament left off with, right? So it left off with... it just fell out of my head. I could look it up. Anyway, it left off with one of the writings of the prophets, and so that's where it ended, and then this is where it picks up, is that the writings of the documentation of, they were scrolls found in Aramaic. Not Greek, but Aramaic. So anyway, I much rather Greeks, the Greeks worshiped lots of different gods. They had lots of gods, so of course they translated your Bible that you read every day. They translated that from a Greek multi-god perspective, which is why they took God's name out. And they also changed Yeshua's name to Jesus, which was after Zeus. So anyway, this one keeps Jesus's name Yeshua, not Jesus. This is a Hebrew. Aramaic and Hebrew is very close. Okay, so Luke 6, verse 27 says this, because mine's going to probably sound a little bit different than yours. But it says, "But to you I say, to those who hear, love your enemies and do good things to those who hate you." What? I can't see that. That's really lame. Let's go up before that. Verse 26. "Woe to those who are now laughing, because you will weep and you will mourn. Woe to you while the sons of men speak good things about you, for likewise had done their false fathers to the prophets. But to you I say, to those who hear, listen to me, for those who hear, how will you know if you hear? How do you know if you hear? By what you do. Your response to this message today will determine whether or not you heard. You see, following hearing is action. Yeah. For those who hear, love your enemies and do good things to those who hate you, and bless those who curse you, and pray for those who take you with violence. And to him who strikes you on the cheek, offer the other to him. And for him who takes your cloak, do not keep back also your cloak. For everyone who asks you to give to him, and from him who takes your property, do not demand your property back." Verse 31. "And as you desire to do to you, you also do likewise to the sons of men. For if you love those who love you, what is your blessing? For even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what is your blessing? For even sinners do likewise. And if you lend to whom you expect to be repaid from, where is your blessing? Even sinners lend to sinners, that they might likewise be repaid. But love your enemies and do good to them, and lend and do not cut off the hope of man, and great will be your reward. And great will be your reward. And you will be the sons of the Most High, because he is pleasant to the evil and the cruel. Therefore be merciful, as your Father is also merciful." Let's stop right there. Okay. So number one, how do you know if you can hear? based on your actions. Number 2, who is your enemy? Now, you might have like different definitions for enemies. You know what I mean? Like it could be like someone stole from you and that is your enemy. Or it could be that you have somebody at work that is against you. Could be your spouse that you feel is against you. Like you have a dream, you want to pursue that dream, you want to go after that thing. That dream could be like a business, it could be like building an orphanage, it could be anything, right? So you have a dream, right? Maybe the dream is you want to sing, you want to dance, you want to be on The Voice, you want to be the next American Idol, whatever. Okay, whatever. And your spouse, and you don't see eye to eye on this dream. So right then and there, this creates contention, right? Creates contention. And so secretly, without you realizing it, that has become your opponent, your enemy. So the same at work, that you think things should be done a certain way, right? And people are not doing them that certain way. So what does that create? Contention. It creates contention. And what our Father is telling us, that in order for us to be considered his son or his daughter, we have to walk in his ways, right? It's the same. We represent our parents, whether we like it or not. And there's some things that my parents, my mom and my stepfather who raised me, who actually adopted me, so he's my dad, that I learned from them. And there's a whole lot that I refuse to live by. Refuse. Abuse of drugs, emotional abuse, mental abuse, all kinds of stuff. Neglect, all kinds of stuff, right? Which I have forgiven my parents. So your parents could be your enemy, right? They could be your enemy. Your boss, your coworkers, your spouse, your kids, whoever's like not with you. We have this contention that starts to rise up because pride and arrogance really loves to have fun inside of our hearts. And humility, that when we are not agreeing with somebody and we want to hold our ground and we want to get hurt and we're choosing that, that's when we have created an enemy out of a loved one, right? We've done that. Or unless you've had some things happen to you like this happened to me, I'm no victim, I promise you. I put myself in circumstances where I was able to be taken advantage of. I made it crystal clear. Take advantage of me. I'm an idiot. I did. I was embezzled when I was 21 of my first business. $250,000. Poof, gone. This is how I actually ended up homeless. I did that to myself. I really did. One day maybe I'll tell you the story of how I did that. I'm not a victim there. Same with my first husband, who drained the bank account, maxed out the credit cards, and yeah, I got $2.03 left to my name, and I'm homeless. I promise you, I did that to myself. I am no victim. Oh boy, no. God tried to warn me many times. Do not do this, girlfriend. Do not get married to this guy. This is not what I have for you. I'm like, shut up. I'm going to do it anyway. Have you ever done that? You don't want to do that with this teaching today. You don't. You absolutely don't. So it's really clear. Love your enemies and do good things for them. That's one hard pill to swallow, don't you think? Like that's like, and why? Oh, he says, because, hello. You'll have a reward if you do. And you will be a son or a daughter of the Most High. He is pleasant to the evil and the cruel. He is pleasant to the evil and the cruel. So he is pleasant for the evil and the cruel. We are his child, and we represent his family values. And he is pleasant to the evil and the cruel. And he's asking us to hold up his values to our enemies. Wow. That's a stretch, isn't it? So here's one thing I know. I absolutely want to be claimed by him. Because I once was on, and I could be even right now, but I once was on that side of the tracks of the evil and the cruel. I was that. And he was kind to me. He was merciful to me. He forgave me. Hello, the red. He washed me with the blood of his Son, the Messiah. He was gracious and compassionate. He was rich in mercy. He was slow to anger. He was this color, the blood, that my sin was as red as scarlet, and he washed me as white as snow. So identify right now, who are the enemies you have created all by yourself? Because you've chosen not to forgive. You've chosen not to see their perspective. You've chosen to get hardened of heart. You've chosen to speak then maybe against them or about them when they're not around. Who are they? Now it's time to go do good to them. Father, I pray your grace and your mercy. Your grace and your mercy over my brother, over my sister. Let them follow your ways today. And then as they follow your ways, you claim them as your own. And they represent the pleasantness that you extend to the people who need it the most, the evil and the cruel. And that if we choose not to do good things to our enemies, then we are called the evil and the cruel. Whew. Thank you, Father, for this message. Thanks so much for joining us today. Please, come on. There's someone else that needs to hear this message. There's somebody else that's rotting inside. Someone that's going to lead themselves to cancer or stroke or heart disease because of all the hardness that's in their heart, because of the enemies that they think they're a victim of. They need to hear this. So please just share it all over your social media. Send it through email. Send it through text. And before you do that, I want to read your comment. So please talk to me. Talk to me. You matter to me. You matter to our whole team. Your voice matters. Your opinion matters. And if you have a miracle concerning this, share it with us. Share it with us. What has God done in your heart as a direct result of you doing this very thing that you heard about way before you heard me read it today in Today Wisdom Minder? God bless you. Have a great one. Bye.
If this episode was an encouragement to you, go to DannyJohnson.com and share it with your friends now. You never know who else needs to hear it. This has been The Danny Johnson Show. Join us every weekday at 7 a.m. for more insights that will help you get to the life you've